Mark, what was the worst thing that ever happened to you, and how did it change you?
Oh, man. You know what's interesting, and I hate... I think I like to tell myself that I've lived a perfect life. And not many people could say that, but I have no like complaints about anything that's happened in my life. But I would say that the hardest thing that's happened to me was probably like losing my grandma when I was, I can't remember, like 14 or something. Because my family's so important, and they're like, we have a strong family. And just my grandma was very supportive. She would come to all my, she lived in Akron, which was like 20, 30 minutes away, and she was coming to all my baseball games, all my birthdays, all my football games. Every day I would have a game. She would come, she would be there. She was always there for me, and then she would bake cookies, just like always such a loving person, and they didn't have any money. Like, they lived in Akron and Firestone Park, which was like, it wasn't like great, like their house was not well, you know, like the dogs pissed on the floor and shit, and it was like, sometimes I didn't even want to go there because it like smelled like terrible and stuff, but like it was always cool, and I think that's why I have such a positive outlook on life, is because I never saw her like mad or upset or like, and she would say the rosary every morning, like on her front porch, just super loving, super like, she lived for her grandchildren, you know what I'm saying? So when she died, like, that was hard for me and my whole family. And then she was 89, which was crazy. Like, she lived forever, and then like she died so quick because she got like pneumonia and was in the hospital, and then had to be on life support, and then like finally we had to take her off because the doctor was like, her lungs were filled with fluid, you know. So she died, and then like a year and a half after, my grandpa died from a broken heart. Like, she took care of him so much. He lost so much weight, and he went to the hospital for like kind of the same thing. I feel like, I think pneumonia or like bronchitis or something. So he died. So that was a quick, rough 2 years. But it's interesting. I think it's made me a better family person. It's made me a better positive person because she was always happy, and I think seeing how strong my dad was when it happened I think for me, my parents never really showed much emotion, which makes me, I'm sure they had it, you know, in their private time, but it made me like stronger in a way of dealing with stuff. And I think, I don't know, and then my other grandma passed away like a year ago from Alzheimer's, which we dealt with that for like 10 years, 15 years, which was like pretty crazy. I never got to meet my other grandpa, but he died of kidney cancer. And my grandma, my family's just always been like positive, but I think the worst thing was losing my grandma.
What was the first time you experienced that kind of grief and loss?
Yeah. Still to this day, I think losing my 3 grandparents, I've never lost anyone else. You know what I'm saying? Which is interesting because, I don't know.
Which would mean you weren't prepared for something like that.
I wasn't prepared at all, no. But my dad kind of prepared me in a way, I guess, because she was in the hospital, and he's like, look, like, it's not going well. So I had to prepare myself. So when my grandpa died, it was, I'm not going to say it was easier, but it was definitely like, I've dealt with it before, but dealing with death for the first time was tough.
All right, final question, and it's the reverse. What was or is the greatest thing that has ever happened to you, and how did it change you?
The greatest thing.
The best thing in your life is what?